So today I'm back with another video. This time we're going to be looking at 7 niche fragrances that I think are each perfect. I think they're all 10 out of 10. I did this video a while ago on designer fragrances. I did 5 of them. You can check that video out on my channel. But this time I figured I'd do a niche version of this video. So again, 7 of them, and just like I always have to state, this is just my opinion. I think these are perfect. You may hate most of these, you may hate all of these, you might like some, you might hate some. That's okay, I don't really care too much. These are just the ones that I think are perfect in my opinion, and I'm gonna go over them today. So I wanted to keep this relatively limited. I didn't want to choose too many, so I'm going with 7 this time instead of 5 like I did with that designer video. So let's go and kick it off. We're gonna start off with the first one, probably the most obvious one. That one is Aventus. You guys already know my thoughts on Aventus. I've talked about it so much on my channel. Pretty much everyone should know by now that this is one of my favorites, and it is. I think it's a perfect scent. Ever since I first got one of those carded samples of it and I sprayed it for the first time and I was really testing it, I instantly fell in love, became one of my favorites, and it took me a while to actually get a bottle for the first time. This one right here is actually my first bottle. Took me a while to get, took me a while to save up and be able to do it, but I did. And so this is it. Now I've got like 5 of them total, some more over there. But it's just one of my favorite scents. I'm really a huge fan of it, and it's one that I wear all the time, and a lot of these in this list are ones that I do wear pretty often because again, they are my favorites. I do think that they are perfect, so I wear them quite often. So this is my first pick. We have Aventus. I don't know if I mentioned this or not already, but these are not going to be in any order, just kind of random, whatever they are. So there's no order or anything like that, but this is my first pick, Aventus. Next up we have Barcelona Born. So I did a review on this one not too long ago, and this is actually one of my newest bottle pickups that I've bought recently. Got a sample of it months ago, but just finally was able to grab a bottle of it, which I am very excited for. This stuff is fantastic. Again, it's one of my favorite scents. I personally think it's a 10 out of 10. I think it's perfect. I wouldn't change anything about this at all, except maybe the projection. If it projected a little bit more, that would be great, but at the same time I'm okay that it sits closer to the skin, but it lasts long, it smells fantastic. It's just overall an amazing scent. I mean, look at the color of the actual scent. I mean, it's good stuff. It's really, really good. It's one of my favorites. If you like vanilla, then you're gonna like this one, because again, it's basically, that's what it is based around that note. And it's fantastic stuff. One of my favorites. Again, I think it's perfect. I love it. Some people aren't a huge fan of this, which I can kind of see why. This is a little bit more, I don't want to necessarily call it too daring, but it's definitely not going to be for everyone. But again, for me, it is fantastic. Ever since I first got a sample of it, I fell in love with it. I knew I had to grab a bottle, and finally months later I have one, and I'm keeping it all to myself. So this is my second pick, Barcelona Born. So up next we have another one that I talk about pretty often on my channel, or at least I have a few times, and that is Elysium. I'm actually going with both versions here. I have both concentrations. I have the Extrait, which is this one in the 50 ml, and I have the Parfum Cologne, which is this one. I'm putting them together because I often just layer them. So I'll do maybe 1 or 2 sprays of this Extrait, and then I'll do maybe 1 or 2 of the Parfum Cologne. And the reason why is because it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. I did a whole video comparing these two, you can check out. I'll just give you a brief of it though. This one, the Parfum Cologne, projects better but doesn't last quite as long. And on the other hand, the Extrait, it lasts a very long time, but it does sit closer to my skin. So again, what I end up doing is I just do 2 of each, 2 sprays of each. I just mix them together, layer them or whatever. So layering them together like that basically gives me what I'm looking for with performance. The Extrait is also a little bit more rich. It has a little bit more depth. Whereas the Parfum Cologne has a little bit more of a citrusy top. It's a little bit more bright, a little bit more vibrant. So for the most part, they are the same in terms of scent. I mean, aside from little minor nuances, like I said, they do smell incredibly similar. The average person walking down the street isn't going to be able to tell if it's the Parfum Cologne or if it's the Extrait. Really, only the people that are really into fragrances and really into the scent in general can tell. Again, for me, I really like them both. If I had to choose which one I like better, probably the Extrait, but it is also crazy expensive. Like retails $45 for this 50 ml bottle. So very expensive, but I love having both. I love layering them both, and it's just one of my favorite scents. And actually a really good alternative to Elysium is one from Parfums Vintage. This one is Evolution de l'Homme Soir. They have two versions, Matin and Soir. This one, the Soir version, is the closest to Elysium. It's basically their take on the Parfum Cologne version. But with this one, they even took that citrus and made it even more prominent, made it more bright and juicy in the opening. I really like this one. I've worn it quite a bit. Performs better than the Parfum Cologne, believe it or not, but still not as good as the Extrait. At least in terms of longevity, it doesn't last quite as long as the Extrait, but it does project better. So this does kind of take the performance from the Parfum Cologne and the Extrait, mixes it together a little bit so it lasts longer, projects a little bit better than the Extrait. Overall, it's just a really, really good take on Elysium. I did a whole review on this you can check out. So if you're looking for an alternative to Elysium, because it is very expensive, highly recommend you check out Evolution de l'Homme Soir. This is my favorite Elysium cologne that I've smelled. Okay, up next we have MFK Baccarat Rouge 540. So I actually just did a review on this one last week or sometime around there, so if you want to know more about it, you can check that out. This is something that really took a lot of time to grow on me. When I first smelled it, really didn't like it at all, that much anyway. But now it's one of my all-time favorites. I think it's obviously a perfect scent. That's why it's in this list. It's just one that I absolutely love. It does have this latex glovey type of smell and the sugary sweet like smell. It sounds kind of weird when you think about it, but when you actually smell it and you really give it some time to work on your skin and you give it some good wearings, you may end up really liking it, and you might come around to it like I did, because again, it's one of my favorites. I wear it a lot. It performs very strong. Even in the winter when it's cold, it does fantastic. 2 sprays is all you really need. It just is a great scent. Again, one of my favorites. I think it's perfect. I really wouldn't change anything about it at all. I am talking about the EDP. There is also an Extrait version of this one, which I have a sample of. I don't own a bottle just because it's, again, very expensive. But the Extrait has like an almond note, which gives it a little bit more of a nutty type of smell. It's still very good. It's even with the EDP, it's plenty strong. So it's not like you would need the Extrait for better performance, because at least on my skin anyway, the EDP is almost too strong at times. So, but again, one of my favorites here, and this is Baccarat Rouge 540. So I'm probably going to get some hate for this one and have some people, getting angry and upset. But next one is Viking. Believe it or not, Creed Viking. I think it's fantastic. I think it's perfect. And again, the funny thing about this was when it first came out and all the reviews were going on and all the talk was going on about it, I ended up looking at the notes and I basically wrote it off right away. I'm just like, nope, I don't even want to get a sample of it. I have no interest in trying this. Just keep it away from me. And I didn't try it for the longest time until this bottle showed up on Facebook for a really, really good price. This is the 100 ml. And I ended up snagging it for around, I think, $150, which at that time was a fantastic deal. Even now, that's still a really good deal for the 100 ml like this, because prices have been coming down a little bit, but at that time the prices were still like $300 for a 100 ml. So when I saw this fragrance pop up for that price, even though I really still didn't have an interest in smelling it or even owning it, at that price I just couldn't resist. So I ended up just blind buying it. I ended up picking it up. And when it came and I smelled it, I was honestly very impressed. I was really surprised because I liked it a whole lot. It's a very spicy, masculine scent. It's got a very classic, older, old school smell, but with a modern touch as well. And I really like it. So I actually have done a review on this one. In my review on 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟, Portugal, I think I said that I didn't review this one, but I forgot that I actually did. It's pretty bad that I forgot what I have and haven't reviewed, but I looked and I have actually reviewed this one, so definitely go check out that review. Again, this is fantastic stuff. Smells great, performs really good, surprisingly for a Creed. I get really good performance from this one, which is another plus, considering again a lot of the Creeds aren't the best in performance. So again, this is another one of my picks. This one is Viking. Second to last, we have 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓𝗓 Reflection Man. So this is another one of my newer pickups. Again, I got the sample of it like over a year ago, and it just took me a really long time to actually buy a bottle. Now I have it though, which I'm pretty happy about. But Reflection Man, I love this stuff a lot. When I first got that sample, I was really, really impressed. I really liked it a lot, and even now I still love it. It's a very soapy, clean floral scent. This isn't for everyone because again, it's not really masculine. It's again a very floral scent. Not every dude is gonna want to smell that or wear like that or whatever. I don't even think that sentence made any sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. I really enjoy this scent. It's got a very formal and classy touch to it. Just smells fantastic. So again, I wouldn't change anything about it. I think it's fantastic. Talking about the magnetic cap here, I did a review on this one too, so if you want to know more, check that out. But it's my second to last pick, Reflection Man. And my last one, I just have a sample of this one. I know it's kind of lame. Working on getting a bottle of it. I probably will at some point, just a matter of when I actually want to spend the money on it. I've been kind of lazy when it comes to buying fragrances lately, kind of in a little bit of a rut, but I am working on getting a bottle. This one here, again, obviously I think it's perfect, that's why it's on the list, is 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟. So this stuff is fantastic. It's a whiskey based scent. That's basically what you get right from the opening and even in the dry down. It's very realistic whiskey smell. I haven't smelled too many fragrances that are based around that note. 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗓𝗓, that has a whiskey note in it, but it's nothing like this one. This one, it literally smells like you just poured whiskey on your skin and you're smelling it. I mean, it's that good. If you're not a fan of that smell, you're probably not going to like this scent. Personally though, I really enjoy it. It's a little bit woody, it's a little bit sweet as well. I really like it. I think it's fantastic. Shout out to my friend Jesse for sending me this sample. Really appreciate it, and yeah, gonna have to get a bottle of this soon because I think it's fantastic. So that was it for this video. That was 7 niche fragrances that I think are perfect 10 out of 10s. Let me know down below in the comments which niche fragrances are your favorites, which ones you think are perfect. I'd be curious to know what you guys have to think. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Also don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.